What does resilience look like when you're building a new family, a new business, a new identity all at once? Hello, wonderful people. My name is Jane Jogu. I am a certified mindset coach for women leaders balancing motherhood, career, and life. I'm also a published author of the book titled Invite Only, Re-author the stories you tell yourself. I am in this life where I am in this journey where there is the beautiful but messy, let's say messy but beautiful journey of balancing motherhood, career, and all in the process identifying who I am in this season that I'm in, and more to that, living in the diaspora. And in this video, I want to talk about something that is always in the shadow, and many women leaders are struggling with this. They have these roles that they play as mothers, as business owners, or as leaders, and also finding who they are, their identity. Who are you amidst all these things? These are things that are hidden. And on top of that, if you're like me, you're living in the diaspora where you don't have the type of energy or love that you have back at home. So I'll share a bit of my story, and I hope that with me sharing my story, someone who will listen to this will get one or two practical tips, because hey, one story shared is empowerment of I don't know how many women in the case of this video. Now, I moved to the UAE 8 years ago, and I had this vision for myself. I knew where I wanted to head. I had visualized it all. But along the way, life happens. I came to UAE as a girl. I was still young, in my 20s. And then along the way, I met an amazing man. We synced and all that happened. And then in 2023, we got pregnant. So everything shifted, because when it's just the two of us, it's easy to maneuver things. But now when you add another human being on top of the cherry, then everything shifts. So here I am, new pregnancy, diaspora, trying to build a business. I don't have a formal 9 to 5. There was a lot going on in my mind. And fast forward, the baby came and things were okay, things were fine. But were they really fine? Were they really black and white the way I was putting it out there? So back at home, when you have a new baby in Kenya, and I know it happens in most African countries, I think even abroad, you have family, or your mom or mother-in-law comes in, they're there feeding you, helping you to take care of the baby. You're able to steal naps here and there as they play with the baby. But in my case, it's just me and my husband. He's at work, I'm at home with the baby, so I'm the world to my baby. When my baby wants to sleep, I'm there. When she wants to eat, I'm there. I'm the world, and mothers can resonate with this. So I thought I was okay until I realized I was not okay. There are days where I will stare at the blank walls. She's woken up to feed. I've not even slept much because I have these sandbags in my eyes, and then I will stare at the blank walls, trying to think, trying to remember, who am I? Who am I in amidst all this? I couldn't even tell who I was, let me just be honest. And one thing that I remember is that there are nights that I cried. There are nights that I longed for my mother's touch. There are nights I just wanted to hear my mama's voice. There are those nights I just wanted to hear my mom telling me, Jane, it's going to be okay. But what I didn't realize is that this journey was pushing me towards something. And the first thing that I did was, I'm a curious mind. So I got curious and I started asking myself, what are other women in this position doing? What are other women in the same, not an exact same situation, but how are they able to build this resilience? Because you see, it's one thing, especially that time that I had left the maternity break and went back into coaching, holding space for other women leaders. So I've scheduled my day in the sense that I know my baby's sleeping pattern. Those are the time frames that I do coaching sessions. But then what I didn't realize that I was stretching myself too much. I was not giving myself adequate sleep. And if you told me then, I would tell you, I'm okay, we have to chase the money, we are abroad, life is not cheap, and all these things. So I got curious, and as I was saying before the curiosity part, it's one thing to hold space for women and listen to them, help them uncover how they can move forward beyond the obstacle they're facing. And then it's another thing to remember your own tools. It's another thing as a coach to remember, like Jane, you need to ask yourself these questions so that you can move beyond this season that you're in. And that's when I got curious. That's when I started asking myself, what are other people doing? What do women in this season do, you know? And I started asking questions. I started reaching out to people who are in diaspora mostly, asking them how they were able to deal with this. And I got tips and tricks here and there. Again, not every tips and trick that you get is going to work for you. You have to filter and find what aligns with the season that you're in, the situation that you're in. And that's what I did when my baby turned 4 months. Between 4 to 6 months, I was in this season of curiosity, learning and all that. And also the other thing that I did, I spoke to my husband and I told him, because my husband was always asking me, hey babe, how are you? I'm good. How was your day? My day was good. That was always my response. My day was good. You know, I never told him not until my daughter turned, I think, 4.5 months. I never told him that I was not okay. I want to scream. You know, I went so it was not until she turned 4.5 that I told my husband I was not okay. And me being vulnerable with him, because I wanted to show him that I'm strong. I wanted to show him that, hey, I'm here to support you, and you know, and all these things. But who was supporting me? So I told my husband that I was not okay, and that opened up doors for new things. That opened up doors for him, us exploring ways I can get support in terms with the baby, with the house chores, and all those things. And then the other thing that helped me through that season was with my sister, who, you know, it's just like God. Let me just say it's God who has been there, because once my sister found out I was pregnant at the end of 2023, she made it her mission and her business to call me every single day. She would call me, checking on me, checking on that and the baby. Again, I was not open with her at the beginning, telling her that, yo, I'm not okay. I'm draining, I'm drowning and all that. And then so her phone calls, my husband understanding where I was helped, and me having this curiosity truly did help me. So you see, it's one thing to be in a season and nobody knows about it. And one thing that I learned with this journey is that it's good to be open. It's good to speak to those that you can trust and tell them what is happening, because people are not mind readers. Because we expect that people will understand. You know, having him in the house, he should see that I'm fatigued, my eyes are red and all that. But people are not mind readers. People are going through a lot of things. So it's good for us to communicate and tell people how we are feeling and the type of support that we need. So this video today, I wanted to speak to someone who is in a season where they're struggling and they don't know what to do. There's this silent storm that is happening around them. And one thing that I will tell you is, one, identify what is this storm that you're struggling with. And once you identify the storm that you're struggling with, then that is the awareness bit of it. Then become curious, have a curious mind. I know they say curiosity killed the cat, but in my case, curiosity saved me. It gave me sanity. You can see my eyes are not red anymore, you know. So curiosity sometimes can help you. Curiosity can help you move from point A to point B by helping you get the resources that you need. Number 2 is ask for help. When I asked for help from my partner, it really made a difference. When I was open and vulnerable with him, it really made a business. Again, don't be vulnerable with just everyone. Be vulnerable with people that you can trust. Some people you'll be vulnerable and they'll take advantage of you. So be vulnerable with people that you can trust. Number 3, if you're a Christian, put your trust in God. I've put my trust in God over and over. We have conversations like buddies, like friends. Sometimes I'm frustrated. I'm like, God, why? You know, I want to scream. Of course, it's okay to scream to God. And then other times I'm just in gratitude. I'm just saying thank you. You know, I asked for a family. I have a family. I asked to, you know, to make an income by being in charge of my own time, hence the freelancing and all these things that I'm doing. So I'm grateful for giving me that. So have that candid relationship with God or the person that you believe in. Number 3, try practicing gratitude. Most of the time we are focused on the bigger picture. We are focused on the big thing, but we forget the small things. We forget the small things that make us smile, you know. The fact that I was overlooking that I have a family, me saying, God, thank you for that, or me saying I'm grateful for this beautiful girl that I have and all that. Start practicing gratitude. and I promise you it makes a whole difference. I also introduced myself on the 5th month of when my daughter was 5 months. I introduced gratitude walks, where every evening we will go out, we'll go around. The good thing with where we are in UAE, the environment is nice. You can go outside. There's like, it's good, it doesn't rain, so you can go out anytime apart from during the day when it's hot. So we will go out in the evening for at least 30 to 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour. We'll do the gratitude walks, and I made it my business to recite and say and say what I'm grateful for that day. It could be as little as I'm grateful for XYZ, and especially as a mom, there are those things in a baby that you want to see that I'm not going to mention today. So even those small things, I started mentioning them, and what happens is my hormone level just changed. I started becoming more cheerful. I started becoming more vibrant. I remember one time my sister came to visit and she commented that you're glowing, you look different. But it's because I had stopped being that frowny face, and I'd started now embracing my season, appreciating where I am, and also looking at how I can make things work in the season that I'm in. So dear woman leader, dear listener, whatever season that you're in, embrace it, enjoy, because some seasons they never come again. Try and see how you can move beyond that, because it could be a silent storm, but it could be what is building you to becoming the version of you that is ahead. Until next video, please, if let me know in the comment section what you think about my story and the tips I've provided. Each week I'll be providing tips and tricks that will help you, stories from other women. We'll be having guest speakers, and the goal is for us to move from point A to point B. My why in what I do as a mindset coach is I want to leave the earth a better place, or the world a better place than I found it. And my way of doing it is not planting trees, rather it's planting trees in our heads, like building resources that will help you move from point A to point B. So hit the subscribe button, and I will be seeing you in the next video.